Hey everyone, welcome back to week 10, 9, 10, whatever. This is part 2 of whatever week it is. I want to go over today introductions, conclusions, and thesis statements for Essay 2, okay? These notes will be posted in this week's folder. And so you can go there for the PDF copy of the notes that I go over today. I am not going over the entire PowerPoint that I'm going to post, okay? As you'll see in a moment, I have like one slide for introductions. I have one slide for conclusions. And then I have like 22 slides of thesis statement stuff, okay? And I don't think I personally need to go over all of that in this lecture. Okay, all the thesis notes. I'm just going to post them for you, though, as well. So that way you can read over whatever it is that I don't discuss. Okay, cool. So here we go. Let's look at the PowerPoint. Yes. All right, great. Introductions, conclusions, and thesis statements. Okay. Now, I do want to say that this introduction and conclusions is not really just for Essay 2. It's pretty much the same for Essay 3 as well. Okay. You should use sort of the same sort of format. And you can probably use it for most of your papers in general, unless specifically noted. All right, so the introduction. In your introduction, you want to start off broad and then move to a more narrow and specific idea, resulting in your thesis statement. For this essay, follow this outline for your intro. Here you go. Begin by talking about your topic in general. Maybe provide some anecdotal connection to it or easily digestible information. And then move into your thesis statement. I need to see a specific thesis statement, okay, which I'm going to go over pretty explicitly. Here's an example of a thesis, of a introduction. Now, this was written, 95% of this was written by a student for their Essay 2 draft already. But they did not have a clear and concise thesis statement. I added the clear and concise thesis statement, okay? But the rest of it was good. So I'm gonna read it to you as a good example of what you're doing. Millions of clicks, millions of likes, millions of swipes every single second. Social media entertainment has quickly risen as one of the most popular and profitable sources of entertainment around the world. All you must do is find something sparks popularity within the online world, post it online, and watch the money roll in, right? In fact, that is quite the opposite. You see, it is particularly difficult to find something that is interesting to people outside your small niche. With less than 1% of people becoming famous on social media, this job might not seem so easy after all. Some people don't bother trying to make it a career and instead use it for entertainment. Scrolls, clicks, and taps cause an average of 8 hours and 39 minutes of screen time for teenagers. This outrageous average is causing significant side effects. Although inconsistent and addicting, this source of entertainment has surfaced all over the world. That should be over the world. One way that it has become so popular is by the number of platforms that help generate the popularity of social media. Okay. Now we move into the thesis statement. Now, I will say the body paragraphs, the intro has already alluded to what's going to be discussed in the whole essay, but now we have one concise statement. Understanding social media requires a certain amount of social media literacy that will help you to see the unique types of social media, how social media programs differ from each other, and understanding the risks and dangers of social media. Okay, so here, this is the thesis statement. This one sentence that emphasizes the classification, the unique types of social media, that's classification, how social media programs differ from each other, This person is focusing on the difference. They're not focusing on the similarities, focusing on the differences. So it's differ. And understanding the risks and dangers of social media. That's cause and effect. Anybody who's reading this essay, reads this thesis statement, knows that you are going to be using classification, comparison, contrast, and cause and effect. Okay. Your thesis statement, you need to write a thesis statement, and it needs to emphasize your paragraphs and the topics. It needs to emphasize the mode of writing you're doing. Okay. And I'm going to go over that. I'm going to go over more about thesis statements, but it should be the last sentence of the paragraph. I am going to grade you specifically on thesis statements. If it's vague, you're going to lose points. If it's specific, then you'll get your points. Okay. Okay. Now the conclusion. Jump to that. I can't see this. In your conclusion, you want to reverse what you did with your introduction while ending on a personal note. Okay. So for this essay, follow this outline for your conclusion. You don't got to start broad. You can start very narrow because we've spent a whole entire essay on what you've been talking about. All right. So we don't need to start broad, start very narrow. Be personal. Provide a personal connection to the topic to help send home why this is important. So hold on, look. This paragraph goes from broad and general social media, and it narrows down the conversation to looking at more of the negative impacts, the negative effects of social media. Starts off just social media. Then it moves into talking about the negatives, and then it ends with our thesis statement, saying how we're gonna classify the different types of social media. We're gonna look at how they differ from each other, and then we're gonna understand the risks and dangers. All right. So it's social media, and then it is the problems of social media, and then it's our thesis statement. Your conclusion is starting not just social media in general, but it's reiterating the negative aspect of your topic. Oh, the perspective of your topic. In this case, it's a negative interpretation of social media. But be personal. Provide a personal connection to a topic to help send home why this is important. End on a personal notes, thoughts, maybe discuss how people react differently to your topic. Okay. So again, look, social media is a massive part of the world today. I use it. My friends use it. Almost 65% of the world uses it. The reason that I chose to talk about this topic is because I have plenty of friends who struggle with mental health issues. I have been told by my friends that some factors that affect their mental health is social media. Everywhere you look, you see people constantly on technology, with main usage being socials. I want to make people aware of this issue. I wanted to help improve people's mental health. By making people aware of one factor that affects mental health, I might be able to turn people away from social media. Of course, this is just my opinion. In conclusion, social media is a significant issue that affects mental health. Increasing usage of these platforms causes poor mental health. Okay, so there you go. All right. I would never use the phrase in conclusion in an actual conclusion. Sorry. Okay. But that is a good conclusion. All right. You're ending with, if you know anything about the Greek rhetorical terms, you're ending on pathos, really. This is the most pathos and ethos. You are establishing yourself as a trustworthy person, and you're trying to be emotional. Okay. All right. So that's how your conclusion should flow, and it's how your introduction should flow. And that's how I'm going to be kind of, listen, if you write a conclusion that's not personal, then you're going to lose points. Okay. So just understand that. Part of, again, listen to me. Part of this class is following directions. It's not just being able to write well. Okay. Following directions means that you are consciously engaged with the class and that you're taking everything in. It's verification that you're not just whizzing through it, that you're using AI, that you are like, there are people who are going to use AI, but they're going to do it in a way that fits all of my requirements. Okay. And it's like they think they're getting away with something, but they're just as actively involved and engaged. I would much rather have somebody who is actively involved in trying to achieve every single thing I've asked them to do. Even if they rely on a lot of help from outside things, then for someone who isn't paying any attention and thinks that they can just get by with their own natural talents, okay? Because the majority of the world functions around this idea of working together and like listening to each other and and not just doing what you're told, doing it well, but like working within constructs. I mean, my wife she is a marketing director, and she hires people, and she tells them specifically what she needs created, what brochures, what creative things. Now, sometimes she'll say things like, hey, I have a project and I don't have specifics because I can't envision it. So can you be creative and come up with some ideas? That's great. But if she has a very specific task and the people that she hires do not create the specific thing that she's asking for, then she's not going to reuse them. Okay. And so in this capitalist, whatever world we live in, we have to follow directions. Okay. Or be a complete total freelancer and, artist. And that's awesome. I think that's great. But that's a low percentage of people, and so that's not the majority. So, following directions, doing what's been asked of you to do, that's an important part. And your professors are the same kind of way. They're going to ask you to write about certain things for your midterms, and you have to be able to do this. This is not a creative writing class. This is a class that prepares you for college writing. And in college, when you take in-class essay tests, you have to answer the questions that are being asked of you. Okay, so that's what we're practicing here. So make sure that you follow my directions for the introduction and the conclusion.
The thesis statement.
No.
For your essay.
We're not listening to that.
The thesis.
No.
The thesis.
There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Thesis statement. This was made like 25 years ago, but not much has changed with the theory behind thesis statements. Okay, the roadmap for your essay. So I'm not even going to use that voiceover. Okay, so your thesis statement is the final statement in your introduction that lays out specifically what you're going to be discussing. Okay, it's a complete sentence that contains one main idea. This idea controls the content of the entire essay. A thesis statement that contains subpoints also helps a reader know how the essay will be organized. So that's what you're going to be creating, okay, is a statement that lays out things that you are going to be talking about in your paper. So as I look back on my reasons for becoming a teacher, there are 3 reasons that stand out. They are my love for the English language, my innate interest in how people learn, and my desire to help other people. Okay. So this right here, I mean, some of the thesis statements are divided up into 2 sentences. Okay. Which is also fine as well, as long as in the end of it, I know the 3 things you are going to be discussing in your paper. Okay. These subpoints. Your thesis statements need to have subpoints. And again, this is for academic writing. Okay. You open up a Vanity Fair, okay, Rolling Stone, The Atlantic, and people are not using thesis statements in their articles, okay, because that's professional writing. This is academic writing. This is not creative writing, okay? Let's see here. Oops. Okay. I believe birth order can have a significant impact on the formation of a child's character based on my own experience growing up in a family of 4 children. Birth order can strongly affect one's relationship with parents, relationships with others, and how one views responsibility as an adult. This tells me that the first body paragraph is going to be discussing one's relationship with parents. Second one is with others. And the third body paragraph is about responsibility as an adult. Okay. So your body paragraphs should follow your thesis statements. Okay. Okay, so you want to make sure that you state the main idea of the essay in a complete sentence. It's not a question. It's not a question. It's at the end of the introduction. You should have some sort of perspective. Okay, it's not just the topics, what you want to say about it. And you have subtopics, which is essentially what each body paragraph is going to be about. Now, if you're writing like a 10-page paper, you wouldn't be writing about what every single paragraph about. In much longer essays, instead of like paragraphs, you have chunks, but you would still be kind of laying out your main ideas about what you're going to talk about. But what those things that you're going to talk about might span multiple paragraphs. All right. So this is this one sentence with the 3 main points. That's suitable for an 1101 paper. Okay. And so I really want you to emphasize one sentence. It's not a question. Okay. All right. You can go through the rest of this yourself. I don't want to waste your time. Okay. You can go through and look at the rest of these notes. All right. That kind of help you to like understand the differences between what is a thesis statement, what is not. Like this, the sport of cross-country running. It's not even a complete sentence. The sport of cross-country running has allowed me to get in better shape and meet some interesting people. Okay, there you go. Why do I want to be a teacher? That's not a statement. Okay. All right. There's 25 total slides. Okay. What I need you to be able to do is this and this and that. You can write a paragraph like this. Oops. Let's see here. Have a introduction. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And then you can write one of these. That's not what I wanted to do. So I'm trying to highlight it. Let's see. Share. I accidentally canceled the sharing. I'm sorry. There it is. Okay. Highlight. This is your thesis statement. Understanding social media requires a certain amount of social media literacy that will help you to see the unique types of social media, how social media programs differ from each other, and understand the risks and dangers of social media. Okay. Let's see here. What I want to do is this. So this is your thesis statement. Okay. Right. Okay. This one helps you to see that, like, tell your reader that this is going to be a classification paragraph. I do not want you to actually write that in your essay. I'm just demonstrating for you. Okay. How social media programs differ from each other. This is a compare contrast mode of writing. Let's get a different color. Still a little bit of green. Want to do some green? Okay, let's do some green here. And understanding the risks and dangers of social media. Okay. This is cause and effect. We're going to do this. Pink. Or fuchsia. Well, that's hard to see. Maybe gray. No, gray's lame. Okay. So actually, I'm going to move this to here. There we go. All right, great. So understanding social media requires a certain amount of social media literacy. That's my thesis. Okay. You got to have some literacy here to understand this. That will help you to see the unique types of social media. Okay. So this is actually still part of the thesis. I'm getting OCD now. Okay. So this is my classification paragraph. This is my compare contrast paragraph. And this is my cause and effect paragraph. When you write your paper, do not highlight them, do not label them, but it should be apparent. Okay, it should be apparent. Okay. Save. And now I need to since I've changed these notes, I gotta attach them again. All right, you will find a PDF copy of these notes posted in this week's folder. Look, save as PDF. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna save it for my students, yo. Okay. That's them right there. Yes, replace it. All right. Stop share. All right, you'll find those posted in the folder for this week. Okay. Watch, read through them and make sure that when you are writing your rough drafts, when you are editing your rough draft, okay. I know you already wrote one. That's fine. It's fine. When you are working on getting your first draft ready to submit as a paper, you should look at your introduction and your conclusion. The persons that I just used today, I added that thesis statement. Feel free, dude or dudette, he, she, they, whoever you are. I mean, I know who you are, okay, but I'm not trying to reveal. Feel free to use the thesis statement that I just wrote and presented for you, okay? It would be smart to do it. It's not a suggestion. You should do it, okay? All right, y'all. I'm done. Take it easy. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you watched it. Email me any follow-up questions, okay? See you later. Bye-bye.